Hi, I'm Poultry Pete, and I've been breeding chickens for well over 50 years now. And in today's session, we're going to be learning how to actually hold a chicken with a tried and true technique where by the end you'll be able to use what I call the 3-finger grip method, the correct wing restraint, and also the technique for doing what's called a hands-on assessment. By the end, I reckon you'll be confident to do that. Here we go. So you've just caught your chicken, all right? And most people, they kind of hold their chicken in a hug. That's okay. Or they'll kind of hold it like this. But a lot of the challenges that people have is if the bird's wing becomes loose, the natural instinct is to try and escape. And they literally get in a flap. And that is what creates stress. So you want to minimize stress and make the whole operation a humane and gentle restraint. So the first thing we need to do is use our non-dominant hand. Those 3 fingers are key. They look like a chicken claw. And what the aim is to be able to get that middle finger between the 2 legs and have the 2 legs coming down between the other sides of the fingers, like so. A little bit like a fork, all right? So let's just practice that. So we've just caught the chicken. We restrain it with one hand, and we get our non-dominant hand, which goes through, the middle finger goes through the legs, and then you lift up the chicken and you give that hand just a little bit of a squeeze, because if she does flap, you want to be able to stop her from flying away, all right? The next part is really important. Remember, the key is that you don't want them to get in a flap. So you get this wing and you press that gently but firmly against your 6-pack that you've been working on over the last few months at the gym. And then the other hand you get over that wing, and you make sure that you totally cover the wings, at which point, if you relax, the animal, the bird, will relax. You'd be surprised. Animals, if you are stressed, they'll pick up on that stress. But if you're confident and you're relaxed, the animals will pick up on that positively as well. So now that the chicken is relaxed and she knows that she can't escape, I'm in a position where I can now move her in my field of view to get an idea on her overall health. So this is what I call an HOA, or a hands-on assessment. Now she'll be tempted to try and escape, and if that happens, I've just got to give the legs just a little bit of a squeeze. She's well supported, she's fine. And this is what's called a hands-on assessment. Chickens, being an animal with a high metabolic rate, you'll know if they're stressed because their heart will be going at a rate of knots, at a very fast rate. She seems okay, her heart rate is fine, so she's not stressed. First thing you need to start with is the head. So what are we looking for? Well, a healthy head will have dry nostrils. There'll be no nasal discharge, because nasal discharge is indicative of some kind of respiratory infection. You can also try not to inhale too hard, but you'll just detect if there's any odour, that's indicative of a respiratory as well. But no, her breath is fine. The next thing you move on to are the eyes. You want a nice clear eye without any mucus over the eyeball, and she's fine. You want to make sure that her little ears, do you realise chickens have little ears right here? See that little hole there? There's no crustiness or canker inside her ears there. And the other thing is comb colour. Now, this is a seabright, a silver seabright female, and it is normal for them to have a dark purple comb. Most chickens have a bright red comb. Now, if the comb in a red combed bird is nice and bright red, that's a good indication of full health. Her comb is fine for what she is. And then, having examined the head, you start to make your way through the body of the bird, and you're looking at, it's all right. See how I'm sort of just holding the finger grip just a little bit tighter. It's all right, dearie. And what you're doing is you're just looking through the back feathers for any signs of lice. Yep, she's all clear of lice. And also at the front, remember that non-dominant grip is very important. Looking for any lice, and she's free of lice. Just look at the back here, and she's free of lice, all right? So that's head to tail. Then we want to look at the feet, and we want to make sure that the scales on her legs are nice and smooth, because if they're not, if they're a little rough, it could be an indication that she's got a little bit of a, what's called a scaly leg mite burrowing underneath. And there are different ways of dealing with that too. So making sure the legs are nice and smooth and strong. And just checking her weight. So if she's got a good handle. So the way to check what's called the body condition score. So we've talked about an HOA, right? Hands-on assessment. There's another acronym called BCS, a body condition score. Now in mammals, you work that out by putting your hand over their backbone and checking if there's a meaty ridge on either side of the spine. With chickens, it's the opposite. It's the breastbone. And if you feel underneath the breastbone and there's a good long lot of muscle and meat, that's an indication that she's in good weight. So there you have it. How to hold, restrain and examine the health of a chicken. I'm Poultry Pete. Subscribe to my channel and also join our community in the school page, SKOLL, and join us like-minded chicken people. See you for now.